Okay, so with everybody getting blocked, let me share my story about Poosh and Kourtney Kardashian.
Kourtney Kardashian's biggest mistake, let's talk about it. And no, I'm not talking about the gummies that she came out with that people are saying are just candy with sugar. I'm not talking about that at all. We'll get to this drama later on in this video, but we're talking about Poosh. So Kourtney Kardashian has a company called Poosh. It's a website, and you go on there, it's very much like a lifestyle brand, and everything is curated by her and things that she's interested in, but it actually makes money because if you buy something from the website, she gets a small commission of it. Well, at Coachella, she had a Poosh camp and influencers were invited, and this one person said that she got invited to go to Poosh so she can do a aura reading, and she was a vendor. Now, if you guys don't know what you're talking about, if you go to LA a lot, there's a lot of events and parties, which I've been to so many of them, and every event and party has an aura reader.
Okay, so with everybody getting blocked, let me share my story about Poosh and Kourtney Kardashian. So it was a few years ago, I had an aura photography business, and I was approached by Poosh to do an activation at Camp Poosh outside of Coachella in Palm Springs. What a great opportunity, right? Wrong. Because when they reached out to me, they were like, hey, we would love for you to be there in Palm Springs for 2 days. It's fantastic. This is actually during the pandemic. So I had shut down my business because it's an events-based business that requires you to be close to people. So I had to pick up other work. But when I got reached out to, I was like, oh my gosh, this would be a great opportunity to be in front of people who would hire me to do parties, etc. Wonderful. I lived in Los Angeles at the time, but I was spending time at home on the East Coast because, money, and I had sublet my apartment, whatever, doesn't matter. Point is, I was not doing well with my business. So I get asked to do this event. It's exciting. I'm like, okay, this could jumpstart everything again. I give them my pricing, and then afterwards they were like, yeah, that's so great. Actually, but love that you sent us your pricing, but we were going to give payment with tags. As in, they were going to give me tags on a blog and on one Instagram post as a payment for 2 days worth of work in Palm Springs, just to give you a gauge as to what it costs to run an aura photography booth. For a 4-hour event, it's like probably about $1,500 to $2,000 depending. And that includes, that's the 4 hours worth of work. And you're like, oh, that's a lot of money for a little bit of work. But no, that includes all of the travel time, the setup, the bit. So when you break it down, the 4-hour cost is actually not that much when you take into account the days of work that you do before and after. Anyway, but point is, they wanted me to do 2 days worth of activation. So that's $4,000 worth of work in Palm Springs. And they weren't even going to cover any accommodations. So they wanted me to be there during peak season, 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, for no money, for a tag. They asked me, a small business owner that was struggling, to do that for free, to basically pay to play, to be there. And honestly, I'm not mad that they asked. I'm mad that after I explained to them why I needed at least some of the basic costs covered, they were like, I definitely got like the, what do you pour energy. And so I gave them a list of other people who could possibly do it. And also, mind you, this was like 3 weeks before the event. This was 3 weeks before Camp Poosh. So I declined, but it just made me think, these people can fucking pay for this. These people can pay. Absolutely. They're millionaires. They can pay for my services. I have people that make less money, presumably, that have paid for my services. And it also makes me think of all of those parties that I see them do, because they're constantly doing parties with different vendors and activations. Are those people also not getting paid? Are those people also not getting paid? Block them. Block all of them.
Now, what that means is you kind of go into this little tent and there's a person there and they say, stand still, and they take a picture of you. And then they print out the picture, and then you walk out and you sit down, and somebody will be with you in a minute. They show you the picture and there's like a card and around you are these different colors and they read your aura and they say, okay, so you're mainly blue, you're mainly pink, you're pink and blue and this is what this means. And they read your aura and then the next person comes and they read their aura. And that's kind of like the gig of what an aura reading is. So this person said that Kourtney Kardashian reached out to her to be a part of the Poosh camp so they can have these aura readings. Now, when you go to these parties like a Poosh camp, you're gonna see an aura reading, you're gonna see food, you're gonna see drinks and beverages, and a lot of it's free, a lot of swag and goodie bags, and all these different companies are there, and they're like, yes, come to the Poosh camp, you can meet a lot of influencers, get your brand out there. But here's what people don't know, is that a lot of these vendors are doing it for free. They're not getting paid until this person had enough of it. So here we go, roll it.
I need to know Camp Poosh's budget for Coachella because it seems unlimited. Out of all the brands that are bringing influencers to Coachella, nobody does it like Poosh. They have money. Miss Kourtney Kardashian, she got the Benjamins. So at Camp Poosh, guests were welcome with a burn hit class. Then you can go get your hair done at Choose Ultimate Wella. It's giving mechanic shop. Then here is the bulletin board. Even the bulletin board looks expensive. Then here is all the PR that all the guests got. Look at how cute the sets are. Like, I need Miss Kourtney Kardashian to sell this. I would buy it in a heartbeat. Your cute jeans. There is an area where you can do your own denim. You can DIY it. Then they're getting sushi rolls. Camp Poosh roll call. A little movie night. Look at the concession stand. The concession stand looks rich. And then here's little goodies for the movie night. Camp Poosh. It's giving camp. They literally tagged Ruggable. Ruggable is one of their sponsors. Miss Kourtney Kardashian, please invite me next year. But I also need to know how much money this is. Like, does it end up not being a lot of money since there's so many sponsors? Like, I need answers.
Now, Kourtney Kardashian, I don't think she kind of knows how to run a business. And I know I shouldn't be saying that, but let me tell you why. On a recent episode of The Kardashians, I came across this right here and I was like, yep.
It's a talk.
This is Kourtney having a talk with her team. And look what she says.
About last week. I want to put some boundaries in place. I cannot engage in the conversations anymore of like what everyone's like personal drama. And the other day when I wrote that thing about trying to do something nice by saying, let's get together since we haven't seen each other, let's like get our meeting in place, you know, and then everybody's like writing back 100 different things. Like, I will never try to organize something again. I will have my assistant organize it. You guys can all write her back with your stuff and she can deal with it. My brain needs to focus on bigger things, like big picture stuff, you know, so my brain cannot focus on the details of like people not getting along or things like that. I don't have it in me.
I get what she's saying. I get it. But at the same time, for that to be on camera, it just kind of looked like she can't delegate tasks. Like, the fact that she even got to that point, I'm shocked by that. She shouldn't have even said anything at all. She should have been like Anna Wintour and just ignore the whole thing. But it's not the first time that we've seen the Kardashians reach out to people to do free work for them. And I think that's how it goes. I think a lot of times when people throw parties, they're like, hey, I'm having a party. Would you mind sponsoring the alcohol? Would you mind sponsoring this, sponsoring that? And a lot of brands do it for the clout. A lot of brands will do it. I'm not saying that they don't, because a lot of brands say, hey, you know what? I'm just getting started. I just want to get my name out there. I'm a hustler. And they will do events for free, whether it be balloons, cake, decorating, and so much more. It is a thing that people do, all right? So when I saw that, I was thinking like, this Kourtney Kardashian stuff has gotten way out of control. Not to mention the drama with the Let Me Chill and the Let Me Focus, okay? Let Me Chill does just that, and so does Let Me Focus. Like,
a sentence that I never thought would have to come out of my mouth: you don't need the Kardashian vaginal health gummies. It's like a Mad Libs. It's like just random words thrown together. You don't need them. There's this old wives' tale that the way that things, smell and taste is bad, and you have to mask it by using special products that make it smell like pineapples or whatever. That is totally not true. There is a smell and a taste, and that's just the way that it is. You don't have to mask it. You don't have to use special products or washes or douches, any of that. In fact, some of that can be bad for your body. So you don't need like pineapple, vitamin C, whatever S&Z 1969 trademark probiotics are. Just live your life. If you are having a foul odor and discharge, then see your gynecologist, because that could be like a bacterial vaginosis infection, but you don't need these special Kardashian gummies to make you different than what you are.
I don't really have an issue with these because it says what it does. Like, it actually works. But to me, I think that the ingredients could be way, way better. Even though the ingredients are good, they could be better. And there's people all over the internet talking about that situation. So anyways, let me know what you think about all that drama in the comments down below. This is Rich Lux with the hottest celebrity news on YouTube. Mwah.